I'm right here with Jay Calderon from Boxing Talk. Appreciate all the support. Make sure you guys follow this channel.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Jay Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's Boxing Talk. We're going to do a recap over the fight that just took place this past weekend when two former world champions, Lamont Peterson and Sergey Lipinets, fought a great action-packed war when these two went toe-to-toe for a great fight. And this fight was entertaining from the beginning. We saw Lamont Peterson in control in the first half of this fight when he was using his height and his reach, establishing that jab, a very good jab. He was keeping Sergey on the outside, boxing beautifully, landing some crisp, hard shots, and then he started to let Lipinets get on the inside. He started to let him land those short, clean punches that were effective punches that were landing on Lamont Peterson. But Peterson started to go to the body towards the middle rounds, and he started to put on a vicious body attack. I don't know how this man was able to stand up from those brutal body shots that Lamont Peterson was landing on Sergey. Sergey continued to come forward, continued to apply pressure, and these guys were fighting in a phone booth, toe-to-toe. You know, Lamont Peterson showed that true warrior spirit, that tremendous heart that he's always had. I told a few people that Lipinets is going to come into this fight and perhaps win this fight and shock a lot of people in the boxing world. Lamont Peterson has been in a lot of wars, and this guy was fighting in his hometown. You know, he came out here from a long layoff and he got knocked out by Errol Spence, and it was just the end of the road for Lamont Peterson. Peterson has been an excellent fighter, a two-time world champion, and this guy fought the best fight that he could possibly fight. He should have boxed a lot more. He should have used that foot movement that he used against Danny Garcia instead of going toe-to-toe with this guy, because Lipinets showed that he is such a tough fighter. He gave Mikey Garcia one of the toughest fights in his career, and Garcia was able to drop him and able to beat him as well, but he gave Mikey a very tough time. So I knew he was going to come into this fight and possibly win this fight. I'm a Lamont Peterson fan. I've been a fan of his for quite some time, and I wanted him to win this fight and get back into the winning column, but he just took a bad beating down the stretch. He got hurt in the later rounds where he was just rocked badly, and you saw when he wobbled back to that corner that he was in big trouble, and it was just a matter of time because Lipinets started to land those short shots in the inside with the uppercut and also his own beautiful body work that he was establishing. These guys were going non-stop, action-packed, toe-to-toe combat, and it was beautiful work that you saw by both men. A great show between two warriors where boxing fans were able to see them on FS1, you know, free television network, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people tuned in for this fight on a Sunday night. A definite candidate for fight of the year, and I tip my hats off to both men. You know, Lamont Peterson in the 10th round, he took a vicious beating. He got dropped, and his trainer, Barry Hunter, who's also like a father figure, threw in the towel very quickly, and the fight was stopped. And he was just looking out for his fighter. You know, he didn't want to see Lamont take any more punishment and get severely hurt in this fight because he was taking a beating. Even though he was throwing back and he was going out on his shield, this man was done. And at the end of the fight, Barry Hunter passed the microphone to him and he announced in front of his hometown fans that he was retiring from the sport of boxing. And I got to tell you right now, I want to wish Lamont Peterson the very best. You know, this guy is such a humble man, a great fighter. You know, he was a true warrior to the sport of boxing, a two-time world champion. He made some nice money. He fought a lot of big names on his resume, guys like Danny Garcia, Timothy Bradley, Amir Khan. He's also fought Errol Spence, Lucas Matisse. He's been in the ring with a lot of big names, and he has always put on a great performance in all of his fights. So I tip my hats off to Lamont Peterson, wish him all the best in his future. And as for Sergey Lipinets, this guy has just entered the Errol Spence Jr. Sweepstakes as perhaps his next opponent that he's going to face, because a lot of people are not facing Errol Spence. Manny Pacquiao just put out a poll asking the fans, who do you want to see me fight? And most people said Floyd Mayweather. But one guy that wasn't on the list was IBF welterweight champion Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. And he was left out for a reason, because Manny Pacquiao does not want to fight such a big, young, strong fighter who's at the prime of his career and a dangerous fighter. And Pacquiao, who never really avoided anybody throughout his career, is a 40-year-old man that has a world title, is looking for an easier fight, perhaps against Danny Garcia, who I believe is going to be next for Manny Pacquiao. And I think a guy like Sean Porter should step up and fight Errol Spence for a title unification. But I believe him and Keith Thurman are going to fight each other instead. And Keith Thurman is going to have that opportunity to win back that WBC welterweight title and unify the titles once again and claim his throne as the #1 welterweight in the division, rightfully so. As for Errol Spence, who is he going to fight if all the top guys are not going to be willing to get in the ring and face him? You know, this guy right here, Sergey Lipinets, is a tough fighter. He's an excellent fighter, a former world champion, and I believe that he will be definitely next in line with a guy like Luis Collazo, who's also a former world champion, a tough veteran fighter who's older in age, but he's also a durable fighter and a stay busy fight for a guy like Errol Spence. Spence is going to have to face either one of these guys just to stay busy and keep sharp, because these guys are both coming off 2 good solid wins. And they're next in line to face a guy like Errol Spence. I'm telling you right now, I see Sergey Lipinets or even Luis Collazo as the next opponent for Errol Spence Jr. because he's not going to face any of the big names. And as for Terence Crawford, the fight that everybody wants to see, the super fight to really claim that throne as pound for pound the best fighter in the welterweight division and perhaps in boxing as well, these guys should be fighting each other. But due to boxing politics and both networks, it's going to be very hard to get these guys together unless it becomes a very big payday that all the networks are going to want to jump on board the way they did with Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. But that's going to take some time to build. These guys are going to have to clean out the division. And once Terence Crawford takes care of business against Amir Khan, I see him fighting somebody like Jesse Vargas next. So these guys are going to be having their hands filled fighting a lot of different fighters before they get the big fight opportunities that they really want. But I want to congratulate Sergey Lipinets for a great performance that he put on. It was a good solid win for him where he gets to move on in his career and perhaps get that title shot before the year is over. But that's my final recap on the fight that just took place. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning into this YouTube channel right here, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. Please hit that little red subscribe button. Put your email information in so you get all my notifications once I drop a new video. Hit that bell icon, hit that like button, drop a comment, share the video. Also, follow me on social media platforms, on Twitter, on Instagram, and also join the Facebook boxing group page, all under the same name, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm J. Calderon, Stanley Entertainment. Thanks for your support. Keep watching. Please subscribe.